So one of the late season joys of cleaning seed is when you get them like this. Well, they're so easy to do, right? That's not always how we get to choose to clean our seeds, and we need to remove them from the comma, which is what the little fluffy things are called, and get them out of the husk. So how do you do this easily? Alright, well, you grab the low hanging fruit and get you through this process here. You grab the low hanging fruit. All this is waste. This is extremely helpful. Okay, so I'm going to throw that over there. I've got seed in here. I've got the rest of my fluff in here. Sometimes you get one that looks like this. It's starting to open. You might get lucky with this one. Yep, still pretty firm. But again, this is super important. Hang on to it. Okay, and you can peel it right off just like that. That's a good shot right there. So you got a couple left that are up here and you don't want to fuss with them. Throw them in the bin. Alright, we're getting rid of that. Some more. This one's probably not going to work out as well. They're dry. Okay, so we're going to hang on to this. And by the way, I have experiments, actual experiments, to back all this up. Everything I tell you, we've done an experiment on. It's not word of mouth on the internet. Still got all this fluff here. Hang on to that. Got a green one. I was in a hurry. I wonder, is it brown? Is it green? I don't know. Oh, sort of brown. And most of these will be ripe enough to germinate. Most. Not all, but most. When you have huge numbers of butterfly milkweed like this, these are still useful. We get too many in a bag, it helps us cut things down. So we're getting all those off of there. But this is the most important piece right here. And I'll tell you why, because I'm going to use fire to separate these comas from these seeds here in a little bit. And you'll see Chris Helzer tell you, no, you don't want to hit them with fire. They did an experiment. Yeah, they did an experiment. They burned the crap out of a big pile of stuff, and I'll show you what's different here in a second. Got all this fluff. Let's see what we can separate, because it's important. Maybe not so much right here with this, but it's important to keep as much away from flame as you can. But it's also more important to get these as soon as possible, but that doesn't mean you throw it away. I wouldn't spend a ton of time with it though. Okay, if that's the only option you got, that's fine. That's fine. So you're like, Todd, where's this all heading? I don't know. Okay, there's another one. I got most of that. I've got a few left here. I'm not going to bother with it. I'm going to throw it into the fire bin. Okay, so got a big fire thing going. Really nice seed. Here's the important part. Okay, when you get here, this is probably a perfect one. When you can clean them like this. This is what Hannah Blythe, right? I'm going to put her name on the screen right now. This is the work she did. I should probably have her publish it. When you get them like this, we had a 40%, in the year that we did this, we had a 40% germination rate. That's your big bang for the buck seed right there. Okay? When you get one that looks like this, you get a 4% germination rate. So they've already dried out some. And here's what's really in. We've got comas that are just loose. We don't need to bother with it. When you're using the fire to do this, there's two things that are important here. One is to get it as fluffy as possible. Okay? So we're going to fluff all this up. Remember, I've got all these green pods in here. Why? Because they have moisture, and that's the key. This works a lot better on a windy day. A lot of this stuff will just blow away because we don't want to burn it as much. You don't want to transfer heat into the seeds. Okay? So I fluffed it. Second thing find yourself a bin to work in that's got grooves in it. That way the seeds can fall down into it. Okay? So I'm going to fluff this all around as much as I can. And usually when I'm doing a big batch, I'm going to leave it for a while and get a lot, because I don't really want to breathe smoke. Okay? Then get your handy lighter. One of these is important. Why? Because you're going to use this as a stirring rod. That sounds insane, I know. If this blows up in my hand, oh well, it blows up in my hand. It's not going to blow up in my hand because there's not enough heat in here. And remember, most of those seeds I've gotten off these coma, and we can go in and do a quick light like this and then stir it around. Okay, and you want to put those flames out quick as possible. This is why I like to do it with more. But you saw how fast that heat went by. We can segregate our pods. Just burn this, right? I just grabbed it with my hand. I'm not burning my hand. Okay? That's what we want to do. We want to keep it as cool as possible. And then you got your extra seed. Worst case scenario, remember when I said when you find them all dried out and fluffy, it's 4%. With fire this way, it's 2%. And I'll tell you what, if there's no significant difference between that if you're a statistics junkie. Very quick and effective way to get a lot of seed cleaned, super fast. We've got experiments backing this up. The key is to have the moisture to get the fire out as fast as possible. You're just trying to separate those comas away, and you have places for all that seed to fall, and none of it's been desiccated by the fire. The tricky part is, why is it so much less? The part you're trying to get your head wrapped around, it doesn't make any evolutionary sense for its dispersal mechanism to take it from 40% down to 4%. It's a compensation point. Think about how you see milkweeds in the wild. They have a patchy distribution. When things are good, it doesn't pay to go away. You already know you've got good conditions close by. If it stays wet, they fall right where they're at, and you've got high fecundity. Conditions are dry, it's going to dry things out. It's time to disperse and take your chances. It's just different strategies. Think your way through it. It's pretty cool. Keep them cool and clean a heck of a lot of seed real fast.